We've added a ton of functionality to our application up until this point. We've provided full CRUD functionality to our tracks data, so we can create, update, delete tracks. We can create likes, so we can like individual tracks. We can create users. We can authenticate those users. We can find individual users by ID. We can query for likes. We can query for tracks. To cap everything off, let's add the ability to search for tracks. Let's see how we can provide a search feature to allow us to search for tracks according to their URL, their description, their title, as well as the user that created a given track. So to add this feature, let's head back to schema.py in our tracks app, and on our tracks query in graphene.list, let's add a search argument. Now this is going to be set to graphene.list. We'll declare the data type as a string, and we need to change our tracks resolver to accept this search argument. And previously we were just getting all of the objects, getting all of the tracks with the help of objects.all. We want to add a conditional, however, if some search text is provided, so we can say if search, and we can provide a fallback value of none to search, so that our search argument is optional and we don't get an error. If some search text is provided, we want to filter all of our tracks. Namely, we want to filter our tracks according to the search text that's provided. So what's going to give us the ability to filter this list according to a specified search term is Django's filter method. So when we have some search text, we can simply return track.objects.filter, and in the filter method we can specify what field we want the search text to match on, and also what type of match we want to be performed. So for example, say we want our search text to match and filter our tracks according to just the title field that we have on each of our tracks, and we want to match it according to whether that search text provided starts with, or the title starts with, the provided search text. So we first say the field name, title, underscore underscore, then the match type. So we want to see if the title of any of the tracks starts with the text provided on the search argument. So let's save schema.py and try this out. We'll refresh graphical and we should see our search argument provided to the tracks field. So now we can add search and provide, for example, the text tr, and if we hit the play button, we get all of our tracks returned. And that's because all of our tracks start with tr. Now if we remove the t and just say r, we should get no results because none of the results start with r. And note that the match type comes from Django. So in addition to starts with, there's a number of different ways of matching a given field. For example, there's exact to get a case-sensitive exact match of the text. There's iExact, which is a case-insensitive exact match. There's GT, which means greater than, say if we were working with numbers. There's a lot of different match types. However, the one that we're going to be using is contains to do a full text search on all of the different fields, and in particular a case-insensitive contains, so it will be prepended with I. So now if any part of our title matches the provided search text, we'll save and refresh, and say for example we wanted to search by the second track's title and we provided a 2, we see that it searches all of the text and it finds the second track because it contains a 2 somewhere. However, we mentioned that we want to, in addition to just searching by the title, we want to search by the description URL and the username for the user that posted the given track. At the moment, we're just filtering according to one field. How do we add the ability to filter based on multiple fields? Well, for that we can bring in what's known as a Django queue object. So up at the top, from django.db.models, we'll import queue. So QObjects allow us to make more complex queries. QObjects turn our filters into objects so we can use logical operators with them. For example, an OR operator or an AND operator. So to search on all of the fields that we want, we can add a filter variable, and we can use a series of OR expressions in order to match all of the fields that we mentioned. So we can use the QObject and pass in our first filter that filters based on the title, and then we'll add an OR conditional, and then add a conditional or add a filter based on the description field, then another for the URL field. And then we mentioned that we wanted to search according to the username. If we look at the tracks query, we look at track type, note that posted by is associated with an object type called user type. So to get at the username, to match it, we can first include the field name posted by, and then use another set of underscores before our match type to navigate down to the username, and then we can add our case insensitive match type contains set to search. So now our filter is being set conditionally according to these QObjects, and to our filter method we can just pass in filter. Then if we save schema.py, we can not only search for or search according to URL description and title, but also by posted by. So say if we have one track that was created by Doug, the username Doug, we provide to search the term Doug, and we have the one track that he created returned to us.